So I will film that, and this may be published.
This is film? Oh,
Yeah.
heavens.
Is it okay for you?
Yes,
Yeah?
of course.
Okay. It may be published in YouTube or something, but I will just give it to Steve, and he will publish it somewhere.
I know he will do whatever is appropriate. I'm not worried about that.
Okay, right. So the first question I got is, due to that it's a conference about the other, could you define the other, please?
When we use the term the other, we're referring to somebody or something that we believe is not a part of us. So when the Europeans came to North America, the Native Americans were the other, and they were not accorded the dignity or rights or even the humanity that the Europeans felt that they brought with them. They felt that they were superior. And then when the slaves were brought from Africa, these enslaved people were considered the other. They weren't even considered fully human. And there was a big debate over whether they had souls or not. And so they were considered the other. Well, these are the two most dramatic examples in United States history of the other. And then, of course, we have small examples of the other in neighborhoods. An Asian family moving into a Euro-American neighborhood would be considered an other, and they would be discriminated against and not welcome fully. Or a Mexican-American family moving into a black neighborhood would be considered other, and they would be perhaps shunned and not given immediate acceptance. So we have others all over the place, depending on who is the majority, who is the minority, who is the new arrival, who is the old arrival, who has the power, who does not have the power.
And where's the relevance in engaging the other? Why is it relevant to engage the other?
Well, it's relevant to engage the other because the other actually is a part of ourselves. Humanity is entangled. We're going to make it on this planet together, or we are not going to make it at all. And so as long as there are others, as long as there are strangers, as long as there are subjugated people and people who are disempowered, we're depriving all of humanity a source of strength and wisdom, intelligence, creativity, and what it is needed, very badly needed, to pull us through the ecological crisis, the crisis of terrorism, the crisis of division, and all of the other multitudinal crises that really threaten humanity's survival on this planet.
Did you get a personal encounter where you understood that?
Did I have a personal encounter with...
Where you understood that relevance of engaging the other?
Oh, I would say that I have had many personal encounters because since I was very young, I witnessed firsthand acts of discrimination, and in my case, especially towards women, because when I was growing up back in the 1940s, 1950s, women were considered the other by really the majority of the male population in the United States. And for one reason or another, I had close female friends as a child and as a young adult, and I could see that they were being discriminated against and being deprived of opportunities and were taken advantage of. And so this is immediately what comes to mind when you talk about the other. And then, of course, as I came into contact with more people, I was able to witness this with African American friends, Asian American friends, Native American friends, Mexican American friends. And then in some instances, I was an other myself. And in many times in high school, I was discriminated against because I was not a member of the football team or an athletic team, and I was not part of the ruling elite of the high school, of the males in the high school. So I've had experiences of feeling the other as well.
Did this conference enrich you in any way regarding that question of engaging the other?
I think that in terms of religion, this is one of the easiest ways to identify other, because major religions, for better or for worse, think that they are the only religion, the only way to salvation, the chosen people, the one way to God, the one way to eternal life, etc., and everybody else is other. So I think that religions need to grow up and realize that none of them have the complete answer to these mysteries.
Yeah, and then I don't know if I asked you correctly, or if I asked you understandable. The question was, did this conference enrich you regarding that questions?
At this conference?
Yeah.
I think one of the values of this conference is that it has been able to provide bridges between religions, and it has been able to get people from different religious backgrounds on the same platform and to discuss ways in which they could work together while maintaining their own identities. I think that my only criticism is I don't hear a voice for the atheists and the agnostics and the secular humanists at this conference, and I would like to hear more of what they have to say, because there are now 4 best-selling books in the United States by atheists that indicate this is a fairly large audience, and these are people who do feel that they're others, that they are the other, in contrast to the major religions who don't give them much honor or much attention. And I think that their voices need to be heard as well.
Okay. The last questions, we should keep it short to let you go to the next schedule. Is there like a toolbox, a 1 to 3 toolbox for building up peace, and like very concrete encounters?
Well, yes, I think that there are many toolboxes for engaging the other, for working in peace. All you have to do at this conference is to go to the bookstore, and you will see about 100 books. Many of them are useful toolboxes. 100 ways to save the planet, for example. Building bridges between religions. Even very good books for children in terms of getting children engaged in this bridge building project. So I don't think we have any lack of toolboxes. I don't think we have any lack of tools. We have discussion groups and encounter groups and joint projects and tours and interfaith dialogues. I'm a member of many such groups myself: Habitat for Humanity, Tikkun, and the Interfaith Alliance, and many, many other groups that are trying to make this bridge building project a viable one. So the tools are there, the toolboxes are there. The question is, how do we get people to use them?
Okay, thank you a lot.
Thank you.